If you're over 70, you've probably heard 1,000 times, eat your eggs, they're the best protein you can get. But let me ask you something. What if that's not the full story? What if the food you've been told is your number one muscle builder isn't actually the most powerful option you have anymore? What if there are other foods, some you've never even thought about, that can help you rebuild strength, keep your independence, and even add a little more spring to your step? Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm not 25 anymore. My body's different, and you're right. But here's the secret most people never tell you. Muscle doesn't stop growing just because you've had more birthdays. It's just that the rules change after 70, and so should your protein. See, after 70, your body starts losing muscle faster than you can build it. There's even a name for it, sarcopenia. It's one of the biggest reasons people your age feel weaker, get tired faster, and have trouble with things that used to be easy, like climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or even just getting out of a chair. And here's the hard truth. Once you start losing too much muscle, you start losing your freedom. But it doesn't have to be that way, because the right foods, eaten the right way, can help you keep the muscle you have, rebuild what you've lost, and give you the kind of strength that lets you keep doing the things you love. And yes, I'm talking about real, natural muscle. Not from pills, not from powders you've never heard of, but from simple, everyday foods you can find in your local store. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 powerful protein sources that I believe work even better than eggs for building and protecting your muscles after 70. Some of them might already be in your kitchen right now. Others might surprise you. Foods you've never connected with muscle strength before. And here's the best part. You don't need to spend a fortune, you don't need to eat huge portions, and you don't have to give up your favorite meals. You just need to know which proteins give your body the most bang for your bite, and how to use them in your everyday life. Before we dive in, I want you to think about something. What's your go-to protein right now? Is it eggs? Chicken? Maybe a shake? Drop in the comments. I'm really curious to see how many of you are sticking to just one or two options. And if this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button on Senior Diet Tips, because the advice I share here can help you stay strong, healthy, and active long after 60. All right, let's get started. Let's start with a protein that works as hard for your heart as it does for your muscles: wild-caught salmon. I've had patients who were used to starting every single morning with eggs. And when I suggested they swap just a couple of those egg days for salmon twice a week, they came back and told me, "Doctor, I feel lighter, but I'm actually stronger. I'm climbing stairs without pulling on a rail. My knees don't ache as much. I even feel like I sleep better." That's the quiet power of salmon. See, wild-caught salmon isn't just protein. It's protein paired with some of the richest natural omega-3 fatty acids you can find. Those omega-3s are like a personal trainer for your muscles. They make your body respond better to the protein you eat. They calm down inflammation in your joints, and they give your heart an extra layer of protection. Now, I hear this all the time. Fish is too light to build real muscle. Not true. Salmon's amino acid profile is just as complete as beef or chicken, meaning it has all the building blocks your muscles need. But here's the difference. It brings along anti-inflammatory benefits that those other proteins simply don't. If you want to get the most out of it, keep it simple, grill it, bake it, or steam it. And whatever you do, don't overcook it. The oils are where the magic is, and you want to keep them right where they are, inside the fish, not on the bottom of your pan. But I also know not everyone is a fish fan. So let's move on to something creamy, filling, and dairy-based. And you might even already have it in your fridge. This one is a quiet game changer, plain Greek yogurt. It's thicker, richer, and has about double the protein of regular yogurt. And here's the kicker. It's not just about protein, it's about quality protein. Greek yogurt is packed with leucine, an amino acid that directly flips the switch in your body for muscle growth. Think of leucine as the foreman on the construction side of your body. Without it, the workers just stand around. With it, they get to work building and repairing your muscles. But it's not just muscles that benefit. Greek yogurt also brings you calcium for bone strength. And that's a 2-for-1 deal most foods can't give you. I know some folks shy away from dairy because they're worried it will bulk them up or make them feel heavy. Let me clear that up. Dairy doesn't bulk you up. It supports lean muscle and bone density, the kind you need to stay steady on your feet, and keep doing the things you love. When you buy it, skip the flavored ones. They're often loaded with sugar that cancels out the benefits. Go for plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt, and then make it your own. Add a handful of berries for antioxidants, a sprinkle of nuts for healthy fats, maybe even a dash of cinnamon for flavor without sugar. And now, let's shift gears. We're going to talk about a plant food that's humble, affordable, and surprisingly powerful for building muscle strength at any age. Lentils are living proof that plants can absolutely compete with animal protein when it comes to keeping your muscles strong. These little legumes have been a staple in traditional diets for centuries, and for good reason. They're packed with plant-based protein, but that's just the beginning. They're also rich in fiber, which keeps your digestion running smoothly, and loaded with iron, which helps your blood carry oxygen to your muscles. And when your muscles get more oxygen, they can work harder, recover faster, and stay healthier for longer. I hear a lot of people say plant protein isn't enough for real muscle growth. That's simply not true. What matters is pairing it right. If you combine lentils with a whole grain like brown rice, you create a complete amino acid profile, meaning your body gets every essential building block it needs, just as it would for meat. And here's another thing. Lentils are affordable, they store well, and they're easy to prepare. You can simmer them into soups, toss them into salads, or make a hearty lentil stew that's filling without being heavy. They're a quiet powerhouse. And if you've been thinking plant proteins are less than, lentils will prove you wrong with every spoonful. Speaking of plant proteins that deliver the full package, let's talk about one the ancient Incas swore by. Quinoa might look like a grain, but it's technically a seed, and it's one of the rare plant foods that's naturally a complete protein all on its own. That means you don't need to pair it with anything to get the full set of essential amino acids your muscles crave. But that's not all. Quinoa is also excellent for keeping your blood sugar steady, which means no more energy crashes in the middle of the day. That's especially important if you're trying to stay active, because steady energy allows you to move, exercise, and recover without feeling wiped out. Some people think quinoa is just a trendy health food you see in magazines or on fancy menus. But long before it was a superfood in the West, it was a staple crop for the Inca warriors who relied on it for strength and endurance in the high Andes Mountains. The best part? Quinoa cooks just like rice, but gives you more nutrition per bite: protein, fiber, magnesium, and antioxidants all in one. Try swapping it for rice or pasta in your favorite dishes. You'll get the comfort of a grain with the muscle benefits of a protein. From ancient grains, let's move on to a lean white meat that, in some ways, can outperform chicken for muscle health. If you're looking for high-quality protein without all the extra fat, turkey breast is a quiet champion. Many people think chicken is the leanest option, but ounce for ounce, turkey breast is actually lower in fat, and it brings along certain minerals like selenium and zinc that help your muscles recover and your immune system stay strong. The truth is, not all poultry is created equal. Turkey has a slightly different amino acid profile than chicken, which can give you a subtle edge in muscle repair, especially when you're working on building or keeping muscle past 70. Here's my advice. Skip the processed deli slices you see at the store. They're often full of sodium, preservatives, and fillers that don't serve your body well. Instead, roast your own turkey breast at home. That way, you control the seasoning, keep it tender, and have fresh slices ready for salads, wraps, or a simple dinner plate. It's lean, it's versatile, and it's one of those foods that gives you plenty of nutrition without weighing you down. From the land, let's head back to the sea for a small but mighty fish that's often underestimated. Sardines might be small, but they are one of the most nutrient-packed foods you can fit into a single bite. You're not just getting a solid dose of complete protein. You're also getting calcium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids all in one tidy little package. And here's something you might not realize. When you eat sardines with their soft, edible bones, you're giving your body a bone-strengthening boost that rivals dairy. That's huge when we're talking about maintaining independence and preventing fractures later in life. A lot of people turn up their nose at sardines, thinking they're too fishy, but that usually comes down to the brand and the way they're packed. Good quality sardines, especially those packed in olive oil, have a surprisingly mild taste and a tender texture. One of my favorite easy snacks? Mash them lightly with a fork, spread them on a slice of whole grain toast, maybe add a few slices of tomato on top. You get protein, healthy fats, and micronutrients in minutes. It's proof that big nutrition can come from the smallest source. Now, let's talk about a protein source that works especially well for seniors who don't have a huge appetite, but still want maximum muscle-building power. When patients ask me for something that's quick, easy, and really efficient, I often point them toward whey protein isolate. Why? Because it's not just protein, it's one of the richest sources of leucine, the amino acid your muscles need to actually trigger growth. And the best part? It works fast. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Protein shakes are for bodybuilders. That's a myth. In fact, for many seniors, a simple protein shake is one of the smartest ways to get enough nutrition without having to sit down to a big, heavy meal. This can be especially helpful if your appetite isn't what it used to be, or if chewing certain foods is uncomfortable. Here's how I like to see it done. Blend a scoop of whey protein isolate with milk, or even a fortified plant milk. Toss in some berries or a banana, and you got a breakfast or post-walk snack that fuels your muscles and keeps you feeling steady. It's not about building bulky muscle. It's about preserving strength so you can keep doing the things you love. And if dairy's not your thing, don't worry. We've got a plant-based powerhouse coming up next. Chickpeas might just be one of the most versatile foods in your kitchen. You can snack on them roasted and crunchy, toss them into salads, or turn them into a smooth, creamy hummus that's perfect for dipping vegetables. They're a steady energy food, meaning they give you protein for your muscles and complex carbohydrates that release slowly, keeping your energy stable throughout the day. That's important if you want to avoid those mid-afternoon crashes. Now, I hear this concern a lot. Beans and chickpeas cause too much bloating. Here's the fix. If you soak them before cooking or buy them canned and rinse them really well, you remove much of what causes that discomfort. Cook them until they're tender, and your digestion will thank you. One of my favorite ways to enjoy them? Spread them out on a baking sheet, drizzle with olive oil, sprinkle with paprika or cumin, and roast them until they're golden. They make a crunchy, satisfying snack without the empty calories. And speaking of foods that go beyond basic nutrition, let's move to something that's not just high in protein, but also works to improve your gut health at the same time. I'll never forget one of my patients, a 73-year-old gentleman, who decided to swap out some of his red meat for tempeh stir fries twice a week. A few months later, he came back to me saying, "Doc, my digestion's better, my joints feel lighter, and I'm still keeping my strength." That's the beauty of tempeh. Tempeh is made from fermented soybeans, which means your body can digest and absorb its protein more easily. And make no mistake, this is high-quality, complete protein, the kind your muscles know how to use. Plus, it's rich in probiotics from the fermentation process, which support gut health. And a healthy gut helps every other system in your body work better. A lot of people assume tempeh is just tofu. It's not. Tempeh is firmer, has a naturally nutty flavor, and contains more nutrients per bite. The trick is to marinate it before cooking. Let it soak in flavors like garlic, soy sauce, or lemon juice, and you'll turn it into something truly satisfying. And now, we've come to the final protein on this list, the one most people overlook, yet it might just be sitting quietly in your pantry right now. Let me tell you about Frank, another one of my patients in his late 70s. Every day, without fail, he sprinkles a handful of pumpkin seeds over his salad. One day he told me, "I've been sleeping better and bouncing back faster after my morning walks." That's no coincidence. Pumpkin seeds are a powerhouse in a tiny package, rich in protein, magnesium, and even tryptophan, which your body uses to promote better sleep and recovery. That magnesium helps your muscles relax after activity, supports your bones, and even plays a role in maintaining steady energy levels. Many people think pumpkin seeds are just for Halloween. In reality, they're a year-round superfood, and you don't need a fancy recipe to enjoy them. Keep a jar on your kitchen counter, grab a small handful as a snack, or toss them on oatmeal, yogurt, or salads. These little seeds can quietly become one of the most valuable and easiest ways to support your muscles, your sleep, and your overall vitality. And now that we've gone through all 10, let's bring it all together Losing muscle after 70 is not a life sentence. It's not even inevitable. I've seen men and women in their 80s rebuild strength they thought was gone forever. And it didn't come from lifting heavy weights in a gym all day. It came from the right foods, eaten consistently, day after day. When you think about protein, I don't want you to see it as just food. I want you to see it as a tool. Something you can use to stay steady on your feet, to keep opening that stubborn jar without asking for help, to keep walking up your own stairs without hesitation. Every bite you take is an investment in your strength, in your independence, and in your freedom. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet. Even adding just 2 or 3 of these proteins into your weekly routine can bring noticeable changes. I've seen in my patients more energy in the mornings, better balance, less soreness after activity, and a renewed sense of confidence. Remember, every small change you make today is a step toward the kind of life you want to live tomorrow. And at this stage in life, quality of living matters more than anything else. So today, we've gone through 10 proteins that I believe often work even better than eggs for building and preserving muscle after 70. Foods like wild-caught salmon for anti-inflammatory power, Greek yogurt for bone and muscle support, lentils and quinoa for plant-based completeness, lean turkey and sardines for high-density nutrition, whey protein isolate for convenience, chickpeas and tempeh for versatility, and yes, even pumpkin seed for recovery and rest. I want to hear from you. Which one of these are you going to try first? Which one surprised you the most? Maybe you never thought about sardines, or maybe tempeh was new to you. Share your thoughts with me. I read every single comment because your journey matters to me. And if you found this helpful, subscribe to Senior Diet Tips. I'm here to give you clear, science-based strategies that actually work for healthy aging, without the fads, without the confusion. Just real tools you can use to keep your body strong and your mind sharp. I'm Dr. Myles Walker. Stay strong, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.